Well, good evening, everyone. This is Carpo. I'm sitting in the dark on the back porch, and I'm going to make this quick video here to say, hey, how you doing? And talk about multi-potentials for a minute. Something I've mentioned in the past, being a jack of all trades myself, someone who finds many different interests and many different hobbies. I find it frustrating sometimes to deal with society's view of what we should be doing. I grew up, under the impression, like everyone else, that the goal in life is to find a job that suits you. And my heart always told me that that was never going to happen. And when I got into my early 20s and I met my wife, and she had a son already who was 3 years old, and I got myself into a responsibility situation. And I always asked myself, am I going to be able to make a living to support my family, being the kind of personality I am? And only this year I found some interesting videos about multipotential personalities, or jacks of all trades if you want to call us that. And there's actually a website called Putty Tribe, or Putty Like, and it's for people who, and this is why I'm making this video, if you're the kind of person who gets really, really interested in something and then fades on it really fast when you find something else, just be grateful that you found something else. Because some people have a strong interest in, say, a career, they go to college, take that career on, and then they live miserably in that career for the rest of their life. And no amount of money or societal image could ever get me to sacrifice my well-being for money or career. That being said, money is neutral and I have to make a living. So I embrace my multi-potential personality, and this is why I'm trying to get into many different things. I make art, I end up giving it away. I wrote a book, but I'm not going to make much off that. All the little things I do, I'm hoping that I can eventually add it up to where maybe I'm selling a few meditation benches here and working with some CBD patients here, and making some herbal blends for these people, and perhaps even making money writing, or even on a, public speaking, or having some sort of an impact on society. And there's a lot of people like me out there who just want to make a difference and give a damn, but to where money is never the issue and money is never the consideration. I have a newfound respect for people who have to ask for donations when they're doing specific things. Like if they're a person who spends a lot of time doing research on a particular subject, and then they write about it and then give away their writings or give away their videos, which is very common these days. Many people are relying on society to donate for their efforts. And then people say things like, well, you just want money. And it becomes a big hassle where money becomes an evil thing, as if the people asking for it are, kind of like the reason why I've never put commercials on my channel. Why I've never monetized my YouTube channel is because I've always felt like I would be a dick to do so. I thought, what am I providing that I should make somebody sit through a commercial? But even my subscribers have said, you should, if you can make something off of it, do it. And, maybe I will, I just never got around to it, but I'm not a commercial person, and I don't support the commercialized system. And but I live in it, and that's the reality. And nobody ever made a difference by resisting and denying money altogether, because without money you can't really do anything. After hearing Manly Hall talk about this a couple of years ago, he was talking about how money in itself is not good or bad, and the person who has the money is not rich. The person who has the money, it does not change them at all. They're merely a custodian of that money. And when we look at it that way, we realize that this is true. So why should we let people be custodians of our money who are disrespectful with it? People who don't share, people who don't care. Being humble through my life as I have been, I know that if I had, a significant amount of money, say if I became a millionaire and won the lottery, I'd want to use that money to build society and to help and to give it away and help others to be better. But if I'd always been rich, my thought may be, well, I need to keep it to myself because these lower people, these ignorant, people in society, they'll just waste it. And you see, this is the rich view, the view that many of the rich people have, that the poor just can't handle their money. And then the poor have the same view of the rich, that they're just greedy and don't care about anybody else. And they're both wrong. Everybody's wrong. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. You can't generalize money to assume how a person is. And when we see a person who has more money than they need and they waste it, sure, it's easy to cringe when somebody buys like a gold and alligator skin television for $1 million like I saw the other day, or a $3 billion yacht because they have nowhere else to spend their money. Then you think of the finer details. Okay, so a person spends $3 million on a yacht. You think, what a waste of money. But then you think, who's getting the $3 million? It's the people who did the woodwork, the people who built the components, the people who put the effort into making it. So at least the money's going somewhere where it can be, distributed slightly. So everybody's making a little bit. It's just, I don't know, a matter of how do we handle our money? How do we handle ourselves? Had to let the dog in the house. Well, being one who's never had a significant amount of money, I've been poor, and I've been not well off as well, but I was making $40 an hour for a while, and then I was making $10 an hour for a while, and I've been down both roads. And then I've been unemployed for a long time too, so I know exactly how it feels to be completely broke, and to know that if you had the money that you could do something with it. I've always had this thought, if I could just get a rich guy to give me $1 million, I could turn it into something great, Not likely to happen, but, one can hope, right? My friend and I used to always joke around about the briefcase that we're going to find in a trash can somewhere that has $1 million in it. Once in a while I'll see him and be like, hey, you found that briefcase yet? Nope, not yet. But it's like we hide away from, money as if it's, we shouldn't desire money. I don't desire money to use it for anything. In fact, when I do have it, I don't even buy anything for myself. I just want to be able to pay my bills and be content. And when we're worried about how we're going to pay our bills, we're not content. So, money doesn't bring happiness, but it sure makes it a lot easier to be happy when you have enough money to survive. How's that? Peace out, everybody. Have a good night. Namaste.